Hello YouTubers and welcome to the video. Right, let's get straight out in the fields and have a look at some dig footage. This is day 2. I was out recently for 2 days. On the first day I had the Deus and on the second day I had the Simplex. I only filmed day 2. So that's what you've got, folks. I did have a really nice bucket lister on day 1. So I'm going to do a finds table at the end and you can have a look at the history that came up from both the days out. Right, let's get stuck in.
Well, there's no mistaking that. It's a copper coin. Early days in the hunt and the Simplex has struck. It wasn't deep, but we'll clean it up and we'll see if there's anything on it. Excellent. Well, it's a Queen Victoria bunhead, following on from the Georgian coins I had yesterday. Everything will be on the finds table at the end. I think I'm going to do a finds table. But yeah, lovely. Fantastic. That's cleaning up quite nice, actually. I think once I get that home and I do a bit more work on it, it should come out really nice. I'm really pleased with that. Fantastic. Well, what the doohickey is that? I thought it was plastic. It's very light, but if it's plastic it wouldn't have bent, and it has bent. Surely it would have snapped. Is that off a car? Is that some kind of V badge off of a motor car? A motor car. Yeah, it's either plastic or tin. It's got no weight to it at all, but what on earth is that? Can't see any fixings either. Interesting. Well, we've got another strange one here. It's perfectly cut on 2 sides and sort of rough and rounded on the other, and it's got a little line in it. It almost looks like a strange little envelope. So I've no idea what it is. Tiny little fragment. But yeah, curious little piece. Well, I'm not surprised that I drew too far back off of that and it's in the sidewall, because that is one chunky piece of metal tube. Yes, I'll finish picking it out, but I don't think we'll be having a close-up. Well, there's a bit of ammunition that appears to have split or just got squished when it hit its target. I think it's split though. I think that's a pistol ball that's come apart, shattered. I don't know. Can they go like that when they've hit their targets? You tell me. I don't have a clue. There's no shortage of buttons in this area. And yeah, these are all from yesterday. This is where I had the couple of coins that you're going to see on the finds table, and not far from where I had my bucket lister yesterday, which we'll see at the end. But yeah, I'm back in the same area now, so I'm hoping not just for more buttons but for more coins. Okay, I've got a couple of lead discs to show you. They're very different. One's thin, one's chunky, and they don't appear to have anything on them. But again, same area as the buttons and the coins that I've been working a couple of days ago and today. Yeah, very interesting. There was definitely a lot going on in this area at one period or another. Georgian Victorian, I think. Yeah, that's what the finds would suggest so far anyway. Right, let's keep plodding on. See what else comes up. Well, we're back on the buttons. And look at the shank on that. By gum, it's windy today. Ah, nice little button. Let's hope, like yesterday, it leads to coins. Blimey, no wonder that thing rang out well. I was convinced I was getting a copper coin. No. Some kind of big cap, screw cap. Oh, blimey. Yuck. Okay, so I've been finding loads of foil in the 20s with the Simplex, and that was exactly the same, and I wanted to ignore it. There is a lot of foil over here, and tin can bits of tin can coming in the 20s. But yeah, now I think if I did ignore those, maybe I would miss silver sixpences, things like that, I don't know. But obviously you can't ignore foil if you want to make sure you get everything on farmland. But there is a lot of scrap over here. It's probably because I'm near the road. But yep, I was convinced that was scrap, bit of tin or something. But no, it's another one of those full shank little buttons. Oh, that's gotta be a big old coin, hasn't it? Hasn't it? Yeah, I don't think it's old. It's got some kind of orangey copper around the edge. I could be wrong. Who knows? Well, we'll all know in a minute, because I'm going to clean it up. Let's have a look. Well, I don't know how well you can see the bust there, but I think it's George VI. Yeah, it's not very old. Pre-decimal, but not very old. And yeah, almost looks like it's got camouflage on it, doesn't it? Oh well, coin's a coin, no complaints. Ah, that has the potential to be cool. That looks like a stone that's literally been sort of split where it lays. I'm going to see if I can put those two halves back together. And there it is, folks. You can probably still see the split, but it does go back together. It's been cracked off on the field. I imagine a piece of farm machinery must have whacked it, but it didn't go flying. It stayed side by side. Two halves that didn't want to part. How romantic. Well, there you go. Sorry for the digression, folks. I'm not finding much at the minute. Amazing, isn't it, how the orientation of a piece of junk can fool a detector. If I just show you on that iron ring. You dig that all day, but go to the side of it. Yeah. Come back round. Yeah, same bit of junk, different angle. Just depends how they lay in the ground as to what kind of feedback you get. Sometimes they fool you, sometimes they don't. Okay, now this has got some age to it. This is crude. I don't think it's a spindle whorl because it's not quite got the right shape. I could be wrong, obviously, but I think it's just an early weight. It definitely appears to have a hole through the middle. A bit wide on that side by the looks of it. I don't know, it could be a whorl. It could be a very crude spindle whorl. I'm not sure. But that's got some age. And that's a nice lead artifact. Pleased with that. Yes, very good. Well, I think that's a fitting way to wrap up the weekend's digging, to be honest, because that's been a bit of a running theme throughout the two hunts. Shanked buttons, yes, or shankless buttons. But there's been a few like that, I have to say. Right, I think we'll go and put everything out on a finds table. I'll run through what's happened over the last couple of hunts and the last 5 or 6 hours worth of digging.
Okay folks, here's the finds table, and I'm sure that you can see my bucket lister, my star of the couple of hunts, glistening in the middle there. But let's have a quick look at the other stuff first, shall we? So we've got some buttons over here. That's not all of them. There was plenty more than that. We got part of a spoon, a little mesh filter. That must have come off of the inside of a pipe or something. I imagine that was for just making sure that gunk and stuff didn't come through with liquid, possibly a little oil filter or something like that on a piece of machinery. Then we've got a parade of lead. The hole on this is bigger on the other side. It's probably 2 or 3 times the size, and it looks like it was made that way. So I can't make my mind up if this is a crude old spindle whorl or loom weight or whatever it is. Nothing much on these two. And then there's a 29 on this, so I imagine that was some little bag clip. I can only assume that's what it was. Now these are Georgian coins, and all I've done is give them a toothbrushing with some water, and as you can see,
they've gone very, very blank. This happens with Georgians a lot. Now, I don't know whether to try and clean them up anymore, but they've gone very, very matted. If you wet them, there's actually quite a lot of detail on, but you need the coins to be wet to see the detail. So it is there, but you can't see it on this image because the coins are dry. Does anybody have any tips to get the patina looking better so that you don't have to wet the coin to see the monarch's heads? It's George III and George II. There's a lot of detail on both of them actually, but as I say, you just can't see it unless you wet the coins. That's a George VI. That's a Vicky Bunhead. Now that's a nice button with Water Lane WLB written on it. Okay, let's get to the star of the show. My bucket lister, a complete silver thimble. Now, it is slightly damaged, however, it is all there. It's got an engraving plate on it with 2 lions either side, but I don't think anybody has actually engraved anything on it. I can't see anything anyway. So what I'll do is I'll finish the video with a photo, a nice close-up, so you can see the silver thimble in more detail. But that's it, folks. That's what I had for 2 hunts. Quite a mixed, varied bag of history and a bucket lister, which is never a bad thing, is it? Right, folks, until the next time, good luck, happy hunting, and we will see you soon.